Hello friends, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm gonna be doing something fun. I decided to give myself a little challenge. This was sometime in the summer. I decided that I wanted to do a challenge where I use all of the materials that I have that are green or somewhat a type of green and use them all within one page, one spread in my sketchbook. So I thought this was a nice little challenge. I don't think I've ever done like a one color challenge before, so it was definitely something to do. And you can see I'm picking out all the materials that I have. I think I've got some paint, watercolors, I've got markers, I've got these little Caran d'Ache and some water soluble mediums as well, and I just decided to use it all in one. Yes, so I have some gouache as well. I've got just a bunch of different things and I just wanted to see what I can make. So of course I started off by swatching them all. I decided to do this in my little sketchbook where I usually do all of my swatches and color palette tryouts and tests and things like that, just so that I've got like a nice little space to do all of that and I don't have to take up too much room in like my regular sketchbook or just like a random piece of paper. I've got it all nice and compact into one sketchbook instead. So during the summer, I definitely thought that green was my favorite color, and I thought that might have been just because of the season, or you know, just because everything's so green and lovely and luscious. But now filming this voiceover in January, Happy New Year by the way guys, I have decided that green is definitely still my favorite color. There is no doubt about it. I love green. Green is such a beautiful, versatile color. As you can see, I've got so many different greens and more turquoisey as well, but I thought I'd still include them because they are still a type of green. I'm using this wonderful liquid watercolor. I love this thing. It's so nice because you can really lay a very even base. I love it so much. Thank you, Katie, for gifting me that. And then time came for pretty much all of my pencils. I had quite a few of them. I wanted to include as much as I had. Pretty much all of the green materials that I had at the time I used for this. And I wanted to do that because, as well as it's a nice challenge, at the same time I wanted to see what I can do, and having multiple different greens and like from all different shades and types, it would be more interesting because I can create better values and nicer like transition shades and things like that. Although the artwork that I create in this spread is more like little elements, it's not like one big artwork, but yes, here is my green sketchbook and I'm gonna do this green spread in my green little sketchbook. So I started doodling, and the way that I actually came about to doodle these, I used a site called Pin Shuffle, which is basically you log in with your Pinterest and you choose which slides you want to use, and then you can basically randomize random pins from your slides that you've chosen. Most of my slides included for this like plants, fruits and objects. That's usually what I do. And animals. I have a pin on cool animals as well. So I shuffled the pin and just a bunch of things came through. I picked a few elements from each, and this way I don't have to spend hours and hours contemplating what to draw. I can just randomize my already pins that I love, the silhouettes or the elements or the colors, put them all into one. I can see them through thoroughly and I don't have to worry. I can just randomize, combine them, pick certain elements from what I like and just draw them, and I don't have to think too much, and that is sometimes the best way. So I use this very turquoisey color for the sketches themselves because I really had no idea how this is going to turn out, but I'm so glad that I did what I did because I love this spread. It's definitely one of my favorites in this book. And as I speak of this book, I have actually finished this sketchbook now. I still haven't done a tour because I have a few backlogs of pieces like this where I'm actively working on them, so I don't think I'm going to release the sketchbook tour for this sketchbook specifically until I've made all the videos about it, and I'm trying to do that now. I did have a backlog because most of the time I did post a lot of collabs, and those are more like film, edit and put out straight away, whereas these pieces where I'm just having fun in my sketchbook, it takes me a while to get around to doing these, so that's kind of like my philosophy about it. But nevertheless, I hope that you enjoy these processes and carry on watching even when these are so far behind from the real timeline. But it's nice to see something back from the summer as well. I did just make a favorites, my favorite art supplies in 2025, and you can really see the neon Paul Rubens green. So that is the first thing that I used for this, and look at how bright and gorgeous that color is. I just love the effect that it gives, and definitely on my favorites list. Although I don't actually get to use them that often. I don't know why I don't use them more. I think having a bright neon base creates such a nice atmosphere for the painting that you do over the top, and I need to strive for that more. But yeah, for this piece, because there is so many materials and things to choose from, I really had no clue what to go for. So I kind of used it as a way of just combining different elements and going step by step instead of completing one thing at a time, because I would pick up one watercolor, for example, and then I would do a couple of elements, and then I would move on to another supply just so that I can get through them all. And I do think I used every single thing in this that I swatched. However, because it's been a little while, I actually can't remember if I did get through them all, but I think I tried. Here I'm using these Ohuhu Puke markers, and these were definitely a massive favorite in the summer. I use these a lot because they're just so quick and easy, you don't have to worry too much. But they're basically like dupes of the Tombos. Love how this little teapot turned out. I think the plants turned out really good as well. I think the only thing that was really missing in this at this point is like more lighter colors, but yeah. I like drawing these like round leaved plants. I'm still yet to get my own. I'd love to have one of these like button plants. I don't know actually what they're called, but they're so fun looking. They're just round and like the leaves just protrude out, and like it makes it look really nice and full. Definitely would be worth in my little art room. Here I'm going with the acrylic markers. This is more of like a paint thing over the top, and I think this fits very well because the other art supplies that I was using were very see-through. I think that's probably why I started with them, because you can like layer up, whereas over the top of these acrylic markers you cannot, so yeah. So for the frame of this, you can see I'm using like a very mossy looking green. It's very olive, very olivey green. But I think this green adds such a lovely contrast to the piece because it's like the darkest one and it's super nice and warm, so it just looks really pleasing to me. As you can see, I'm also mixing it in with like a different green just so that there is a little bit of a contrast, but I mainly for this piece, like this whole spread, I try to stay away from mixing colors off screen, so whatever comes out the tube or whatever, like the gouache or watercolor pan, I tried to just stick to that instead of mixing my own. Now I'm adding a little bit of an element of pencils. I do love the look of pencils and crayons over the top of my mixed media pieces. They just add such a nice texture to everything, and it just makes your work just that little bit more interesting. This little beetle, I actually turned her into a little sticker. I couldn't get it to look very neon-like in the painting because my printer is a CMYK, which doesn't print neons, and it did come out a lot more muted, but I just love the way that it looks. Is this tiny little cute little sticker. I do usually send it off as a thank you little sticker, like a little freebie. It's not currently on the shop, but I do love it. I love building texture with pencils. These pencils that I'm using, they're actually really good for this, and they're soft enough to be able to build some kind of texture over the top, but coming in with another acrylic marker. This one, you might not think it's green compared to everything else, but to me, it is like a very light, pale, warm green. Compared to all the other greens on this page, I can see why somebody would say that's not a green, but on its own, it really is. But with that, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate your support. And with that, I'm gonna say goodbye. See you next time.